Hello everyone, just wanted to show you a quick update on what I've been working on Hereford 1642. I've been working on crafting mechanics, so let's jump right in and I'll show you what I've been up to. Okay, so we've got several stations dotted around here that where you can craft goods. So I'll show you the first one, which is a jewellery crafting table. So we go up to the table. Quite a lot of placeholder assets. I'm using Games by Hyper inventory system as a basis, and I'm building on top of it. So yeah, it says I've got to add. Well, I want to craft a ring, and it requires 1 fibre, which is just placeholder. I want to make that into an actual material that would be appropriate for a ring. So if I add the fibre and go and craft the ring, so up in the top right is the list of tools you need to use, going from left to right. So first one's the hammer, got to use that. Then I've got to use the large file. I've got to wait for the hammer to be available again, and then the small file. So I've got this. You've got to do 3 of these sets. So the next one is the jars. These will be powders and different chemicals for use on the piece. I've got to use the hammer, large file, hammer and small file. Okay, so I did that all correctly, and it's giving me a ring. And because I did it 100, I did it perfectly. I didn't make any mistakes. I also received a gem, so I can click on those and they will be in my inventory now. So I've just crafted myself a ring. I've got a cider press here, which you can push, but it's quite slow and a bit sluggish, but I might make something of that in the future. What about if we go and do some woodworking? So we've got a wood lathe, pole lathe, and I think this might need just a random default material. So if I pick up that flax, go to the station, interact with it, yeah, it requires fibre again for this one. So I'm just going to make a wooden bowl. So as you can see, the chisel moves up and down and left to right with my mouse movement. So I've got it pre-scripted at the moment to have 3 positions where you need to get to. So first one's right at the top, and when you've done that for a certain amount of time, you then need to move to another position, which is somewhere in the middle, and then down at the bottom as well for the last one. There's a morph target on the bowl, so it does change shape as you I need to get rid of that interact thing right in the middle. So I've done that correctly, and I've received my wooden bowl. So I need to do a little bit more work on that one. Everything needs polishing and bringing up to a certain standard, but I'm just kind of getting things in place at the moment. So let's do the flax process. So let's pick up some flax. The first thing you need to do is soak it. So we'll go to a soaking tub, and that requires flax. We can then do up to 4 of these. So if I cancel off that, they will appear in the soaking tub, and I've got a countdown timer of 30 seconds at the moment. I'll whiz through the video now and come back when they're all done. So once they're fully soaked, you can go and pick them up. So this will be your nicely soaked flax. You then need to dry it. So we go up to the drying rack, we get our soaked flax and we put on all of that. So this is soaking rack, and again it's got a countdown timer, so I'll probably whiz through this video now for you. So that's it, the flax is now nicely dried again. So we need to pick up these stacks of dried flax. The next process is to take it to this station here, where we're going to beat it, crimp it and brush it to bring out the nice the flax inner core, which we can then use on the loom. So if we go up to this station, we get our dried flax and we process that. So process flax. This station isn't really interactive, it just plays an animation of what's going on. So that's beating the flax. The player's in a little bit in the way there, so yeah, apologise for that. That's crimping the flax, and this is brushing the fibres to release the inner core that you can then use on the loom. So that is completed, and that's given us raw linen. Okay, so once we've got raw linen, I believe we can go to the loom. No, we need to go to the spinning wheel next. So if we interact with the spinning wheel, so we can create rough linen, good linen and fine linen. So what do we need for that? We need raw linen. So let's have some raw linen and let's make a rough linen thread. So this is a little word game that I've made. So if we start, it says you've got one word left and your next word will be thread. So as the cursor moves, I need to press on the keyboard. I missed one there. As the letters appear, yeah. So I've got one word left, which is wool. We'll see what score we get after this, because I'm not doing very well. There you go, craft, finish, success, 60% success rate. You needed 60% to complete that. Thread, so we did okay, we got our thread. We got our rough linen thread. We'll have that into our inventory. And so I think the next step, you can either dye the thread on this dyeing station here, or I believe you might be able to just go and use it on the loom. I've got some on the floor here, so let's pick up some rough linen thread and let's use the loom. Okay, so we've got some rough linen cloth that we could make, we've got some green, and these are all the coloured ones are for use when you've dyed the thread, but we're going to just go with some rough linen thread. A rough linen cloth requires some rough linen thread, so we'll have that. So it gives us a pattern. The pattern for this cloth is 1 2 2 1, and that means you have to do the first treadle and then the second treadle twice and then back to the first one. So we'll see. So if I start off on the first treadle, as you can see, as I press it, I'm moving parts of the loom. So the next one is treadle 2, so the treadle goes down, the shutter goes from right to left, and then I use the beater, and I need to do that twice, and then back to the first one, back to the first one. There you go. That's just, I've reduced the time down a little bit. So that was success rate. Successfully crafted some rough linen cloth, and I'll put that in my inventory. So you can dye the thread. So if I pick up some thread on the floor here and some ingredients, and let's dye, I think it's some madder root. So we've got some madder root, and we need some ruffling and thread. I'll pick up those two. So we're going to make a nice red dyed linen here. So on the right it tells you the order or the procedure for dyeing the thread a nice red. So we've got to add the madder root first. So we click on the bottle. It crossed it off on the right. I hope you can see that. Then we need to add onion skin. Then we need to add alum, which is the pot in the middle. Then we need to add rhubarb leaf, and then finally we need to use the mortise and pestle to grind them all up, and that would be the end of the process for that, I believe. Player needs to be moved out the way, but it just moves to another camera where it's stirring and brewing the dye and soaking the threads, and then we've got a nice red thread that we can then put in our inventory, and that's how we do that. And then you could use the red thread on the loom over here. So we'll try and do one more, I think. We've got some tanning equipment. We've got a soaking tub and an oak bath. So if I pick up a soaked hide, I believe, and a tanned hide, I just want to show you the cleaning rack. So if we go to that one, let's see what this one needs. Soaked hide. Okay, so we've got some soaked hide. Click on our. So we're going to clean the soaked hide now and give us a better resource for then using to making leather goods. So on this one, you move the mouse in the screen up and down the screen, left and right, like the the pole lathe, and you need to do certain positions. You need to do either side and then in the centre. So there we go, I did either side and the centre for 10 seconds, and that's given me clean hide, which I can then go and process into goods and stuff. Let's just have a look down here. I've been working on a sawmill animation made in Blender. That is actually in the game now, and then I've just got some assets which I've been making, different kinds of tables, little items, and some particle effects which I've been playing around with. I think that will do. Thank you for watching. If you've got any comments, suggestions, please leave them in the comments, and yeah, I hope to hear from you. Alright, goodbye.